What's up, y'all? I'm Reed the Fishmonger. Today we're filleting up fresh San Diego bluefin tuna. I was out with my buddies yesterday and caught these beautiful fish. Super stoked to get them cut up for you.
Yeah, baby!
We're at Fast and Easy Processing, and we're getting it all packed up and ready to go back to Delray Beach, Florida. What we're gonna do first is we're gonna pick up the pectoral fin, slide our knife right underneath, and come out right in front of the pelvic fin. Now we're gonna flip our knife around and come at a hard angle behind the head. Lots of meat behind the head on these beautiful tuna. Don't want to lose any of it. We're gonna flip it around and repeat the process. Tip of the knife right underneath that fin, right in front, and then we cut down right behind the pelvic fin. Roll it around, right at that opening, hard angle behind the head. Beautiful. Now this head will just pop right out just like that. And there's our bluefin tuna head. They pop off easy, just like that. Even on big ones, they pop off easy like that. Look at the fat inside of those collars. Tuna collar's phenomenal. We're gonna get that cut out for you also. But for now, let's get this filleted up. On all tuna, there's a chunk of hard skin right here. So what we wanna do, get a little incision, rest our knife right on top of the skeleton, and come through that harder point with a little bit more momentum. That way it's easy to cut through. Now we're gonna slide down, go to the center spine, go up that spine, separate those ribs a little bit, and now find the bloodline, put your knife right down that bloodline and slide down, and that meat just slides right off like that. That is a thing of beauty, you guys. Flawless bluefin tuna fillet, if I do say so myself. And you can still scrape off some meat off those bones with a spoon, but when you fillet it like this, you're not gonna get much. All right, we're gonna go on the other side of that bloodline. It's very hard right here, so I'm actually gonna go underneath that skin. Take it out. Now making this cut, it's gonna be a lot easier. Tuna bloodline, heard of people doing stuff with that. I've never tried it out. It usually goes to cat food for me, but if you know anything to do with it, let me know. I'm happy to try it out, and I'll let you guys know what I think. Now we're gonna stick the tip of our knife down the second side. Now we're gonna go into the booty hole. Open her up right there. We're gonna go right on top of that anal fin. We're going to crunch right through those rib bones, and look at that. Your beautiful tuna fillet just comes right off that easy. A lot of these fish, you guys, is more how you do it than anything else. Filleting the second side, we can flip it over and do what we just did. Instead, we're gonna fillet it upside down. Check this out. Just like before, we're gonna make a slight incision and then slide up with a little bit more momentum to cut through that hard skin. Now we can rest our knife. Look at that, you can see the knife through the skeleton. Now we're gonna rest our knife right on top of that skeleton and pull forward. That way we're not losing any of that delicious bluefin tuna meat. Stick the tip of our knife through all the way, separate right there. Now we're gonna go to the top of that spine. And because you're not battling the weight of the tuna, you can even just go ahead and fillet it all the way through on this second side. A lot easier. Now we're gonna stick our knife out, cut through, splash the cameraman with some tuna a little bit, and there's our bluefin tuna, you guys. We're not done with this. I take a spoon, go in between each of these vertebrae, and look at that. You get all this little bits of tuna coming out. It comes off really easily, and that makes great spicy tuna rolls, tartare, things like that. Anything where it's gonna be fine enough. So really spicy tuna rolls and tartare. This is premium stuff. That meat right along the skeleton's phenomenal. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna take our longer knife. We're gonna go right in front of those pin bone lines. Take our time with it, get as close to those bones as you can, making sure you don't lose any of your delicious meat. And there's our gorgeous bluefin tuna high loin. That's absolutely gorgeous fish, y'all. We're gonna go on the other side of that pin bone line, slide down, Take your time with it, you guys. That bluefin tuna meat is phenomenal, and you don't want to lose any of it. You want it to look like that. Nothing but bloodline, no light pink, which is the meat. All right, now we're gonna use the same knife, make long, smooth motions, cutting out those rib bones. And look at that belly meat. The belly meat on bluefin is better as the fish get bigger. It'll be fattier, but this is still gonna be delicious stuff. Very excited to eat it. Now, the bloodline on these tunas kind of dips into the meat. So as we take it out, we don't want to just make one big fat line and cut it out. You want to take your time and go into that little divot, making sure you don't lose any of that delicious meat. Also, when we're cutting up this fish, we're not putting any fresh water on this tuna. That would seriously compromise the texture and taste of this phenomenal fish. Now, I took out a lot of that bloodline when we were filleting it, but that little bit that's left, we want to take our time removing, making sure we're just taking out bloodline. It dips into the meat a little bit, so we got to cut into the meat, then curve out. Look at that. No light pink, all dark red, no meat left, just bloodline. All right, you guys, now we're going to skin our tuna. Get our knife underneath there at a harder angle. Once your knife's underneath there, if you want to flatten it out, apply a little bit of pressure down as you go forward. Light sawing motion. That way, you don't leave any of the skin behind. You also don't lose any of the meat. That is gorgeous fish right there, you guys. Slide our knife right underneath those rib bones and cut as close to that membrane as you can, not losing any of that delicious tuna belly. All right, now we're gonna skin our low loin, get underneath there at a harder angle. Once you're under there, flatten your knife out, apply a little bit of pressure down as you push forward. That way you're not cutting through the skin, but you're also not losing any of that delicious meat. And there you go, picture eye. No skin left on the bottom of that. It's a thing of beauty. Now, when it comes to separating our belly from our low loin, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut down right where the belly starts. We're gonna flip around our low loin, pull that upper low loin back, and make our incision following that sinew line. Sinew are these white fibrous lines right here. And there's our leaner upper low loin, and there's our belly. Now we're gonna trim this up. Still beautiful fish on that low loin. All right, you guys, we're gonna remove the collars on our bluefin tuna. Gonna use our Dexter machete. We're gonna stick our knife right behind the gills right there. Flip her over, stick our knife right behind where the gills were, and boom, pops right out. There's our tuna head, tuna collars. Cut it down right there. It's a thing of beauty. You want to cut all the way through? Easy peasy. What you want to do is you're going to have this leftover coagulated blood. Just shave a little bit of that out, as much as you can. What you have left in those divots, you can use your fingers. It usually has a little socket they're resting in, and it's not that hard to pull out. Now, if you rinse this off, you guys, don't use fresh water. Use salty, very icy water. That ice and the salt water is gonna make it super cold, make it so that the fish does not absorb any of the water, and that's the way to rinse off your saltwater fish, not fresh water. I love Dexter's 12-inch carving knife for staking out these tuna. You get long, smooth motions, no serrated lines in your steak, makes for flawless tuna steaks. And that's what I mean, you guys, about how the bloodline dips in. If you were to cut all the bloodline out in one go, you'd be missing out on all that meat right there. So you want to work at it nice and slow and take off all that inside bloodline. The guys at Fast and Easy Mobile Processing package these up and vacuum seal them with such care, making it a super clean and attention to detail job that you really don't find everywhere else. So if you're ever fishing in San Diego, California, definitely give these guys a call to package up your fish to ship home with you. And if you guys are ever in San Diego and want your fish professionally processed like this, hit up these guys. All right, y'all, that's how you process your bluefin tuna. Thanks for watching. Hope y'all have a killer day.